You ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
Anastasia.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Pretty
Doing
good.
amazing.
She drove from Tampa all the way down here
7
to see us,
hours.
guys. 7 hours
Yes.
away.
7.5 hours.
The traffic was crazy.
No meals.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it wasn't a bad drive. Right?
No.
So we're gonna start this off right. This podcast is gonna blow up. I already know, from this episode because she is so damn famous. We know why.
Oh my
Let's get
God.
into
No,
that.
I'm not.
She is famous. Okay.
No.
Let's just start this off right. So, can women take Tren?
And you can do anything you want to do.
Have you ever taken Tren?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So you say yet.
It's the yet. It's
You
the
say
yet.
yet. What?
You can do anything you want to do.
Right, absolutely.
You know?
I agree.
She's not
I
wrong.
mean, I'm not going to say that there hasn't been a woman that hasn't done Tren, but what's going to push you to the edge to actually do it?
I think getting closer to stage, seeing if I still need that little extra bit. I mean, I want to be competitive, right?
Absolutely.
And if everybody else is doing it, which they are,
Do you think they are?
yeah.
Tren.
Oh, yeah.
You think they're going to that level? They're
It's
like, fuck
crazy
it.
because like the more I talk to other female pros, either
Mm-hmm.
like women's physique or women's bodybuilding, I feel like I've been natty most of my career compared to them. Like,
You're
oh
trying
my
to find
God.
out the secret shit?
Well, I mean, even going into nationals, I had girls texting me. They're like, "Hey, how much test are you running? Because every time I run it, I'm getting bad water retention and this and that." I was like, "Girl, I've never done tests." And they're like, "Well, really? I mean, I've been doing X, Y, Z for this amount of time and blah." I'm like, can't tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
You know where it's really big? I think the Tren thing is really big in like Brazil. Over there, like that's like their fucking drug. Like all these girls are just taking it, dude. Like
Well, they microdose it.
They do microdose
Yeah,
it. There was
if you can do that.
I told this one girl no. I was like, no, we're not taking fucking Tren. She's like, I bought this bottle of Tren. Can I take it? No. I told her absolutely fucking
Yeah,
no.
you say no, and then she's like, "Okay," and then behind your back,
She definitely took it for sure.
Of course.
I already know she did for sure. 100%. But they're just crazy over there. I don't understand. Like, in my opinion, like you probably don't need it unless you're like trying to go to Olympia stage. Like, of course, like probably they're gonna do what it takes, right? But hopefully they're they're playing a little bit safe with it. But that's bodybuilding. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get into bodybuilding to play it safe. No,
Exactly.
with
And I think
anything.
the more like I coach women's physique, women's bodybuilding, it's tough letting them not do that kind of stuff. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because
Like,
everybody, like I just said, everybody else is doing it. Like you talk to any pro in either of those divisions, they're going to tell you a list of things they've taken, and you're just like, oh, well, maybe I need to take that too to be at that level.
right.
So I mean, I get that totally.
And you obviously grew. Like, wow, holy shit.
Oh, no, amazing.
Oh my God.
Thanks.
Like in the
Last,
past, like 7 months.
7 months,
Yeah.
that's where
You've exploded. What was the difference? What happened?
I started working with a new coach, and we really went into a lot of detail with my progress season, more so than I had before, as far as like training, really just training. Like he completely revamped how I train, got me on a better schedule with it, got me more consistent with it, and really just hammered all of that. We never got food super duper high.
You've always kept it pretty low. What was the highest you got to, calorie-wise?
We really didn't get that high, maybe like 3,000 a day.
Okay.
Not that much, but
That's not too bad. Yeah, yeah.
no, but I continued to grow on it. He had me doing a lot of off-plan meals and stuff like that, like just to spike glycogen, keep it going. But
So his thought process is probably keep the food lower, give you a few meals, help spike your metabolism, and plus you're gonna be happy getting those meals.
Yeah.
Now for you, cheat meals, was that once a week or was that once?
he had me doing
whatever?
a minimum 2 times a week, and
Okay.
then like we would check in weekly, and pretty much every time we'd call and check in because we would do FaceTime check-ins. Be like, yeah, you like go eat again. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I see. Get over there.
So what were these meals?
He would always tell me go get a fucking cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. That's what has been doing it. So, do you go to a different spot every time, or have you been like, all right, this is my cheeseburger
He
spot?
told me that, but I went and got sushi most of the time. To be honest. Yeah. So
Oh shit! Called out. Cheating.
So,
Probably
how
healthier.
long ago did you start competing?
like 8 or 9 years ago now.
8 or 9 years ago,
Yeah.
and you started out in what division?
Figure.
That's what I thought.
Figure,
So
yeah.
figure. Then you moved up to physique. Are you up into bodybuilding now, or what?
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
as a pro, you went into
Yeah,
bodybuilding.
well, I turned pro in bodybuilding.
Okay,
too.
sick. All right. Nice.
I
nice,
kept
nice.
it was funny, kind of funny. I kept outclassing every division I do. So like, I did figure I did really bad. In my first couple of shows.
Could you walk in the heels? Or
No,
was it a trouble?
no,
Yeah,
it was
that was
kind
the
of
thing?
embarrassing. The whole thing was bad, and I revamped, did like a whole year long off season to get bigger because I knew I needed to get bigger, and I ended up getting too big because I went to, I don't remember what show it was. It was an Orlando show, and I was like conditioned as fuck. Like I was big. Like I loved how I look. I was like, hell yeah, so much better than last year. And I got up on stage, and I even had a client competing in the same show with me in the same height class. And they put me dead fucking last. And I was like, are you serious? And my coach at the time was actually Natalia, and we went up to the judges. Yeah.
Wow. So she did coaching back then?
Yeah. Yeah, she did really good. Little intense coaching, but she did really good.
With that accent?
Yeah. Yeah, it was intense. It was good. It was what I needed at the time. But she went up there and asked them, and they were like, well, if she would have done women's physique, she probably would have won the show, but she's just not figure.
Right. Yeah.
So I think 4 weeks later, I went and did Dexter Jackson's show in Jacksonville. I don't remember the name of it now, but I won the overall in women's physique there right off the rip. So
I think a lot of judges would do that, you know, and I think that people get in their head way too much about that. You know, again, I've had it happen to two of my athletes, right? Alice, she placed 15th in Olympia this year, actually. The first show we did, she was Brazilian, wanted to do wellness, right?
Of course.
Okay, fine, we'll do wellness, even if she wasn't wellness. Went out there, they gave her dead last. Even though I think she should have beat the girl, but because she was so bikini, she got last. We got judge feedback, and they're like, dude, if you would have did bikini day, you would have got the overall 100%.
Yeah.
A week later, went there, did bikini, got the overall. Then we won overall at Junior USA's, then the rest is history, right? It happens like that, guys.
Well, they'll tell you what they want to see, and
Yeah.
it's up to you if you listen to them or not. I mean, they told me you can downsize, or you can do women's physique and win right now, or you can do the opposite of what you just did for a year and win figure. What do you want to do? No brainer.
Exactly.
You know what sorry, man. You know what I think it is? And I just heard this today, literally, is they're scared to go to women's physique because they think you have to have so much muscle, right? Do you agree that, like, the figure girls at the national level are very similar to the women's physique, like, size at this point?
They definitely are. I think if you really know what you're looking at, women's physique does have a different look than figure for sure.
Agreed.
But if you're just looking at people backstage and they're not, like, in poses and moving around, it can be hard to tell a difference for sure. But I do think that once you see a women's physique competitor versus a figure competitor hit the same poses, there should be a difference.
Yeah. It's just at the national level, it's kind of hard because they're all kind of like, figure girls are getting big. Like,
well, and I feel like the
good.
quality, because there's just more figure competitors than women's physique, you get better quality overall. Like, you might have 4 or 5 great women's physique girls that show up to nationals, and you'll have like 30 great women's figure competitors show up. So it's kind of, you have that going on.
I've seen it.
And then you got those people that are standing on that stage wanting to be in the class that they should be in the other class for.
Yeah,
and that's a big thing that we see all the time. You know, you might want to be in that division, but you might not fit it right now, or you've already outsized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I guess that's kind of my thing too,
Yeah.
you know, doing the men's physique and classic, and me wanting to go back into classic because that's where my heart's at. So eventually I know I'll get there. I just knew that I didn't have the size yet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and for you specifically, man, he's just so good in physique. You know, it's hard. Like, it's hard when you're just good in that fucking division.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where the fuck your heart is. If you're just good in that division, like, you could say you want to be bikini all you want. It's never gonna fucking happen, right? It doesn't matter. You are just not it.
Maybe
right?
like 10 years ago.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, some people are stuck, you know, and they don't let their body go where it's telling them to go. They're so passionate about the division, and it's fun, but I feel like that's where people kind of go wrong, you know?
Well, and I just wonder, like, what people's motivation is. Like, is it just to compete? Is it to win? Is it to do something for yourself that you're proud of?
Right.
Because that's going to change what direction you take
100%.
when you're faced with that
Exactly.
option. Like, do I switch classes, or do I stay in the one that I'm not really a good fit for? Like, it depends on what you want out of this, what it means to you.
See, for me, when I'm looking at men's physique, I feel like I don't want to have to fit myself in a box because eventually I'm going to be bigger. And I feel like my legs are at the fucking top right now. So, you know, like if I'm, I know it doesn't matter, but I got the best legs in men's physique. I'm gonna go ahead and state that right now. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Right? But it doesn't, who gives a shit? But I know that for me, I love the sport. I love to compete, but I also want to continue to grow. And I feel like if I am stuck in this box, and this is one thing that I don't like about men's physique, is that there's a lot of top guys who are at the top of their weight class, right? And then they would look amazing if they continued to push and just transition into classic, but yet they don't do that. Instead, they'll shove themselves back in this box, and they're like, okay, well, I can sacrifice my legs now. I'm already at the top of my class. I'm just going to stop working legs and work on everything else. And for me, as a complete bodybuilder, I mean, men's physique lasts to me. I'm a bodybuilder in general, that I just don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in limiting yourself and putting yourself into this box.
And it's about feeling safe too. Like, they know that they're ranking top 5 at shows in men's physique,
True.
and if they go to classic, well, what if now they have to work their way all the way back up again? You know,
I love that challenge.
I think that people are just scared to grow,
do.
man. People are scared to grow. Like, these people think that they're gonna magically put on legs in 2 years, bro. You're talking a decade, you know, to put on good quality legs. Like Like if you have 0 legs and you're a men's physique, bro,
Yeah.
stay in men's physique.
That was,
you ain't gonna get it, okay, in a year like you want.
I hate to put him out there, but that was your boy. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Dan Ibrahim?
Yeah.
Amazing motherfucking back,
No.
shoulders, chest. This guy is just nasty, right? And basically, the judges classed him out and was like, hey, you need to go to fucking Classic, right? But if you look at him, the dude doesn't have any legs. And so what he did was he said, okay, I'm retired from Classic or men's physique. I'm going to go into Classic. He took like a year off to grow into Classic. About 3 weeks ago, he just announced, I'm not going to do Classic anymore. I'm not going to do Classic anymore. I'm going to go back into men's physique.
What?
He can't grow his fucking legs.
I don't even think he doesn't have the patience to grow his legs.
Even if he doesn't, I didn't see. I mean, I know you work your fucking ass off, and I would love to see just like a before you started training legs like a Classic guy to when you started training legs like a Classic guy and stopped training legs as a Classic guy. I want to see those comparisons. But to me, looking at it, it didn't look like there was any change.
There's no change
That's
because it
why
takes
I
time.
switched back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he just maybe there's just people like that. Genetically, they can't fucking grow their legs.
Yeah.
Legs are just hard to grow.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have to push it to a different level of intensity when you train, and a lot of people just aren't ready to go there, or they can't go there.
Yeah. So what is your theory on training legs? I know that is a big factor, specifically in bodybuilding in general, but women's bodybuilding. Like, what do you do to push yourself in the gym on those excruciating leg days?
That's my favorite day.
Me too.
That's my absolute favorite day. Man, I get real old school with it. I just go to war with what I'm doing.
100%.
Like I know exactly what my training program is. Like I said, it's the same one I've been doing since November now. I know I know every single machine. I know what they all feel like. I know what weight I want to use, and I just go at it. Like it's you're gonna complete the set or you're gonna die. That's how I look at it. Like and that sounds crazy to people. Like I tell them that, and they're like, "Oh, die, ha ha ha." But like,
you
really, like you.
If it falls, it falls.
Yeah, but like really, you can't get into like a squat, like a pendulum squat superset or something, and be afraid of it. Like you can't get under there and be like, okay, well, I hope I get 4 reps, but if I only get 3, like that's okay too. Like you have to be like, I'm just gonna fucking go until I stop moving.
die. Absolutely.
Yeah, but a lot of people can't really go there.
They can't break that barrier.
And they think they are, but they're not until you have somebody that like makes you go there, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, I train a lot of people, man. Some people just can't get to that level mentally. It's just not. I don't know why. You know, I asked Evelyn this. Like, there's something mentally like wrong with us bodybuilders that like really want to push it, because there'll be times, dude, where I would do like 5 plates on squats, like squat 5 plates, ass to grass, and I would be able to get 20 fucking reps. And the first rep was hard. The second rep was even harder. And I got to the point where I just black out my mind, and you don't even think anymore. You're just in this fucking like transcendent like era, and you're just fucking pushing the weight.
Just looking over
No,
yourself.
that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
I had a client one time, and it drives me crazy when people will quit on a set,
Dude.
like visibly quit, like not even like, I get when you're close to failure, and you're like, oh, but like just quit. And she was doing a shoulder press, and it was AMRAP to failure, and halfway through she stopped, and I was like, bro, if your kid was under a car right now, would you be able to pick it up? And she got real mad. She was like, why would you? I said, just tell me, if she was under a car and you had to pick this car up, would you be able to do more? And she went and did 10 more, like right after that. Exactly. I said, but you have to be in that mindset all the time when you train. It sounds crazy to people, but that's really how you have to be. You can't, especially as a woman, you can't push your body to that next level if you're not going to mentally go there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why you see a lot of people maintain and they never get better. They never get fucking better.
Oh, yeah.
Or they'll make 1% gains when people like you, 7 months, look at your fucking physique, because you're absolutely killing yourself. Like diamonds are built like under pressure over millions of years, whatever. But same thing, like we are built under pressure. If you're doing the same shit fucking form and shit workouts and shit intensity, you're just gonna be shit your whole life. I'm sorry. Like you need to be able to bust your fucking ass, push through the barrier, and just get something mentally that is just powerful.
You have to walk in humbly too. You can't just go in and think you're the shit and think you're going to do all this stuff when you enter a workout. Like you have to go in and ground yourself and be present with what you're doing, and really, like you said, just kind of almost disassociate during the set to push to that next point. But you can't go in there with expectations. You just have to go in and just be ready for whatever happens.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I want to get 8, and they get 8 and they act like 8 is hard. But 8's not even fucking hard.
You could probably do 5
more. You could do fucking 30 more, and
Don't
you're
put a
acting
number
like
on it.
8's hard. So I think that maybe that's another thing too, is like, you know, just because you have a rep range, sometimes like I tell people, like just push, keep going.
Yeah,
like,
if you
it's
can
8
keep
and it's easy,
going,
keep
why
fucking
would
going.
you stop?
Yeah, it's easy.
Oh,
If you
I
get
can
3
do a
more.
bunch more. I'm just that's enough.
Yep.
Like you're not going to change anything doing that at all.
Jeez. And you see it all the time in gyms. Like how many times, I mean, obviously you go to a gym and this might be the gym that you go to every single time. So every time that you go at that particular time, you see all these familiar faces.
Oh, that's my gym. I'm there all day, every day. Same people.
Right. See the same people every single time. I know there's probably 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 people there that you've seen every single one of those times throughout the whole entire year. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Nothing.
100%.
Like,
but you see them every day.
Every day. Like
they're
what the
doing work.
What are you doing?
I mean, the gym I'm at now, so I contract out of Powerhouse in North Florida.
Okay.
And I actually opened my own facility 6 years ago, and I did that for 5 years. But before I opened my own facility, I worked at Powerhouse also. So that was 6 years ago. Now I'm back. I see some of the exact same people I saw back then, exactly the same.
Yeah. It's almost like I go to Joyland, right? It's a country bar, line dance. Every time I go there, bro, I see the same faces I seen 2 years ago. It doesn't matter when the fuck I go. They're the same people. Like, do people have nothing better to do? I'm sorry. Like, I love Joyland. I love it. But I'm just saying, like, bro, I see the same people. You go to the bar on the Friday night. You could go in 3 years from now. It's the same 5 people that
Well,
are
I think
fucking
the
there.
same people being at the gym versus the same people being at the bars. Slightly different, but you know.
So. Okay, at least they're fucking consistent. At least consistent.
Still looks like shit.
He's still drinking the fucking beer.
He's still drinking all the alcoholic drinks. Same problem.
Crazy.
He's got consistency, okay? Got to give him that. He got consistency. So, obviously, let's switch it up a little bit. You were married, right? How you're almost bigger than him. I'm sorry, but like you're a fucking absolute monster. But when you guys, he's big too.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
He's a fucking big boy.
He's a fucking monster. So
boy.
when you guys walk around, how much people are just staring at you, like
all the time, everywhere we go.
everywhere?
Yeah. I mean, but that's been that way for him his whole life. That's been my way for me almost my whole life for different reasons. So like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even faze me. I usually just smile at people.
So how do you, what's your advice to people that, that really get in their head and they get like, 'cause I coach a lot of people, especially women, you get big, you get muscle. Some people like cherish it and like embrace it. Like Jen, my coach Jen on the team, she's like, I love how I look, right? Natalia, same kind of thing. I love how I look. Some girls, as they get bigger, they get in their head. So what's your advice to them to get away from the stares and the comments?
I mean, you're never going to get away from the stares and the comments, but you can control how you feel and how you respond to anything. You don't have to have a reaction to everything everyone says and does to you, especially strangers. Like, I don't understand getting worked up about what a person on the street looks at or thinks about you, because what does that mean to your life, And also, how great is their life if they're walking around the street ridiculing random people? Like, I wouldn't want to trade places with you. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't have anything in common with you. So why would anything you say or do affect me?
Yeah,
exactly.
But as women, we grow up feeling like we have to look a certain way, act a certain way. And like, I think it's gotten better as time goes on, but we still grew up hearing that. Like when I was a kid, I remember I was like 12 or 13. I was like going through a growth spurt, and I'm up in size from a size 4 pant to like a 12. And I told my mom, I was like, oh, I'm getting bigger. I was like excited. I was like, I'm getting bigger. I need bigger clothes. And she goes, that's not really a good thing. And like, I remember that, but I think every woman has something like that in their brain that just doesn't go away. So like, you can look in the mirror and objectively be like, oh my God, I love how I look. But then you go outside and somebody just kind of looks at you funny and you're like, and it just circles back to that. It's really hard. It is really hard.
It is hard. But don't you think that some people, especially now, I know now, you're going to have your fucking haters. They're going to look at you like, oh my God, she's a man. Wow, look at this. But don't you think there's a big majority of people that look at you in like awe? Like if you're in the grocery store, like, dude, look at this fucking girl. Like, and you would just see them doing this and you would think it negatively, but a lot of the times it could be positive.
Well, I mean, and I kind of like, I used to freak out every time people would like look at me and talk about me, especially when I first started getting bigger. Because I had always been very, very small growing up. So it was all new to me to be this big. And I actually found that to be true. Like, I used to like get really anxious about it and get weird. And then I was like, well, again, why am I doing that? Like, who are these people? So I started smiling to people and talking to people, and majority has been friendly,
positive, right?
Positive,
exactly.
Like,
haters are always gonna hate, but
yeah,
I'm sure you've dealt with all that. So going back in time, there's a reason why you chose bodybuilding. Why is that? Like, what happened? Something pushed you to want to be bigger, or was you think you're just born that way? Like, you just wanted to be bigger?
No, I definitely wanted to be small growing up. I'm 5'10", and I used to weigh 135 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and anytime, again, I told you about my mom, really great mental stuff going on. But anytime I would get heavier in weight, I would just stop eating when I was younger. I did that for a while. And then I actually got into law enforcement after I went to college, and I worked in a prison and I worked on the street. and being a teeny tiny girl is not awesome for that. So I started to get into the gym during that, just to get more in shape. And I found out that I really liked it and it felt really empowering. And I started to kind of shed those old beliefs I had about myself through doing that, because I felt capable. Like, it didn't matter what I looked like, because I knew what I could do. I knew what I felt like. I knew that, like, if some guy in the prison tried to beat me up or throw me against the wall, I could actually fight back now. And as a woman, that's like,
it's very important.
It's empowering.
yeah, because you're so used to like walking to your car with like your keys in your hand at night and like turning behind your shoulder all down. I don't do that now. Like
I wish someone would.
I do. Like, I walk into the gas station like half asleep in the morning in pajamas, like, just what's up at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, what are you gonna do to me? Nothing. But like, I didn't grow up feeling like that. So that's once I got into the gym and started to feel more in control of myself, that's what kind of led to me wanting to pursue this more. And I saw what good it can do for other people too, which got me into coaching kind of simultaneously to competing, actually.
Wow. That's super, super, super cool to hear, because I think I have this very similar story. I think Dustin, he's a closed book over here. We didn't know that. We're going to have a whole podcast on his life, right? But, how's your relationship right now with your mom?
Oh, we don't talk.
You don't talk?
Nope, no communication.
Why is that? What happened?
She's just obviously not the greatest person. She was always really emotionally distant from me growing up. She was an alcoholic, still is, I'm sure. It doesn't really just go away. But we would try to have a relationship here and there growing up, but it would just always end up in us fighting. So finally, at a certain point, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, I just said, you know what, enough's enough. Like, I don't bear you any ill will, but we clearly don't see eye to eye with anything. And it's much better for my mental health to just not have contact with you. And that's pretty much what we've done since then.
And then there's been no contact since then? What about your dad?
Same thing.
Same thing?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Well, you know what? You do have a husband, right? He seems he's unbelievably supportive.
He's great. Really great.
When did you guys meet?
almost 3 years ago now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gotcha. So you guys met in this, were you competing at that time?
Yeah, I was getting ready. What was I doing? I had just finished having a terrible showing at Nationals. And had just gone into an off season when we met.
So you were big bulking then.
Yeah, I was
pissed.
Trying to. I wasn't eating much. It was more. I'm more of a I'm not going to eat when I get upset type of person. So it was more along those lines.
And how does he feel about you just getting as big as possible, and just because some men, like, I feel like they hold the women back. I really do. I feel like that happens, right? Especially when it comes to muscle. So he seems like he's just embracing it. Yeah. Now, is that pretty much what's going on? Very supportive.
Well, he grew up in Russia, and he worked in a lot of like gyms over there in Siberia, Krasnoyarsk area, and he like grew up in bodybuilding. So he has a lot of respect for the sport, understanding. He would never do it himself. Not a fan of dieting at all. Not gonna happen.
Most people are.
Not even close. But he has a lot of respect. He understands the sport too. It's not like I'm like telling somebody like, oh, this girl looks like this and that, and it doesn't mean anything to him. Like, he actually understands everything and is super supportive. Like, he'll help me with my posing. He'll cook all my meals for me. Like,
right. Just a good guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That is amazing, man. That is really good.
Yeah, that support is very, very key. You can't really find that too often.
Well, and it's so different because in the past, I always dated other bodybuilders. Why are you laughing?
Because they're very selfish, man. Bodybuilding is selfish.
They are. They're terrible.
When you have two people that are competing, dude, it's like this.
No,
like,
yeah,
it's tough.
I competed with every guy I dated that was a bodybuilder, like against him. And it was just not like that's not the type of relationship I think anybody wants, really.
Yeah. Goes in the fridge. Did you eat all my chicken?
No, really. Like, we would fight like about everything.
What do you mean? I had my last meal, motherfucker.
Oh my gosh. So you'd be stealing his food. He'd be stealing your food. I cooked that. No, you didn't. That's mine. Oh wait, it is.
Well, and if somebody had a prep plan that they weren't following perfectly, the other one would bitch at them.
Yep, exactly. And you'd almost look down on them like, you peasant. Can't follow a plan. You loser.
Well, and he was a pro at the time, and I was an amateur, so it made it even more awkward because I'd be like, I'm following the plan. Why aren't you?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's something we see, man. Like, people don't know how to just follow the fucking plan. Like, and you guys want to go to the Olympia stage and you're not following your plan that you're paying.
Or like ad-libbing it, making up your own stuff. I see people think they know better. And I think one of the big issues is people are so afraid to communicate now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if something isn't working for you, you need to tell your coach. Like, you can't, are they going to be upset with me? Bitch, you're paying them.
Exactly.
Like, they take ownership back over what you're doing.
Yeah. And communication is key. Let's just say exactly something's not working, you're not communicating with me, and now you're just going off
just
plan.
Doing your own thing.
Again, I said it before, I'm trying to hit a dartboard.
Well, you don't know what's going on now.
Exactly.
You have no idea what's going on.
Yep. I mean, I have guys hit me up. For instance, today, this dude's like, hey, I got peanut butter in my room. What can I substitute for the olive oil? And I was like,
What do you mean?
I have peanut butter, so you know he wants the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing. For some reason, I have peanut butter.
Right.
It's not really a
I'm like,
question.
so he's on a so it was originally a 4-week mini cut, but I made it 6, and so this is his 5th week, and I'm like,
That was a mistake.
yeah, right. And he's just like, so what are we going to do now, coach? I was like, well, we're going to get back on, and we're going to stick to this mini cut for 6 weeks. It's like 6 weeks now. I was like, listen, you wanted it. First of all, I didn't want to do this. I wanted to keep you bulking, but you didn't like the way that you were looking. You wanted to come back down. I got it. We're making this happen. But I'm going to make it 6 weeks so that we can make it worth our while. I really want to prime you for this growth, right? And so now he's talking about the olive oil, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what is your reasoning for wanting a substitution of olive oil? Like, I need to know the why, right? And he's like, oh, well, because I was, in between classes and I didn't have time to go to the store.
What?
Like olive oil.
For me, I'm like, okay, yeah, you can use avocado oil. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
No, for real. Like, go to the store.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Eat the fucking oil.
Go get your olive oil. We got 2 more weeks of this mini cut. Just fucking lock it up.
I feel like he probably already ate the peanut butter.
And that's what I'm thinking.
The peanut butter's gone.
I'm thinking.
I did
that
like
too.
a tablespoon. Was that okay? Or more? Was it
he's
more?
like, I'll make it happen. Yeah, sure. As he's looking at the bottom of the freaking jar.
I'm going to make a statement right now, and it's probably going to piss all the men off, but women are so much better at bodybuilding and following the goddamn plan. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%.
And I've coached a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? Women, let me tell you, they're pain in my ass in a whole different way, but they know how to fucking follow the plan.
Oh yeah.
Why is that though?
Unfortunately, again, I think it goes back to women being afraid to be undesirable in whatever way they think it is, and restricting food is easy.
You think just like you just maybe stuff
I
happen
bet-
when you're child, they'd rather not eat.
I bet that your clients that are like that have no problem following a prep, but they struggle to eat all the food in the off season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of times.
That's usually the girls that are
Yep.
best at following their
100%.
prep cannot eat all their food in the off season because really they don't want to eat.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. Men don't fucking care. If they see the scale goes up, they're like, hell yeah, you know?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, we want the scale to go higher.
I mean, I do too, but
I'm
most
sure you
girls
do.
don't.
How much you weighing right now?
Well, 197.
Wow. Dude, you're almost as big as me. I'm like
trying.
215, but you're going to catch me.
Well, I'm going to be going the other way.
Now you are. Yeah, but you do have a competition coming up. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
You got, what show are we doing?
Chicago Pro.
And are we going to win it?
We're going to. We're going to.
100%.
It's going to be tough, but we're going to do it.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that they keep like kind of fucking with women's bodybuilding, like taking shows away, taking prize money away, bringing them back, like getting some heat, bringing them back? Doesn't that kind of piss you off a little bit?
So I understand how economics works and how a business works. So like while it's frustrating from the emotional side, like there's a reason why they're not promoting women's bodybuilding.
Nobody's showing up.
Nobody's showing up. The women are not all of them. There's plenty of women's bodybuilders that have a great social media presence, that are popular, that are showing their training, showing their diet, showing the real bodybuilding. But a lot of them really aren't. Like they're posting, modeling pictures and a link to another site, and that's about it. And then they say, "Oh, here's my competition." But they're not like, I look at the men's like the 212 and the Open Pros, and they're not posting stuff like that. Like they're posting their training, they're posting their sponsors, they're posting themselves at events. Like they're posting bodybuilding stuff.
Right.
And because of that, they're getting fans. The fans of female bodybuilding are all just the schmoes that want to see the women's bodybuilding.
They're like obsessed. They always have the OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
they're trying to make that money, which I get. I
get it. No, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah,
I
don't begrudge anyone for doing that, but it's a shame because women have to work so much harder to be a bodybuilder and to be at that level. Like it would be cool if they did show off their athleticism more, because I think people would be a fan of it. Like at the gym I'm at, most of the people that kind of look up to me are like younger guys.
Yeah, because you're bigger than all of them.
Well, because they see me like training, they see me bring all my meals and that's what they want. Like they want to be bodybuilders. They see somebody doing the bodybuilding thing, and that's cool. So they're going to be fans. And I think if women's bodybuilders behaved more like that and got more just regular fans, they would be more popular and we would have more shows.
Right.
So are you in any sort of like group chats with other female bodybuilders?
Not a group chat, but I talk to a lot of them. A lot of the younger ones I'm really close with.
And so you're talking about like gaining fans and stuff like that, which originally you started off as an amateur. Who was the people that you looked up to?
Like in what way? In what regard?
Okay, who's your favorite female bodybuilder right now?
Me.
Well, yeah, good
3 years ago,
question.
who is it? 3 years ago.
Still me.
Still you, always you?
I mean,
Okay.
I have a lot of other bodybuilders I respect, but bodybuilding is such a singular sport, and you're never going to look like somebody else.
No,
Yes.
true,
Ever.
true. No, I agree.
So, like, I admire a lot of people's work ethic. I admire a lot of people's dedication, but there's no, like, one bodybuilder I can look at and be like, oh, I looked up to them or I wanted to be like them. Like, I want to be like me.
Did you
Yeah,
ever look?
absolutely.
What about men? Do you look at like Phil Heath and be like, wow, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, of course.
You know?
Who wouldn't, you know? The first Olympia I went was one of his last Olympias, and I remember he came out on stage last, and I watched all the other guys go before him. I was like, oh my God, they're so amazing. Like, they're so big. They all look great. I don't know who's going to win. And then he came out, and I was like, oh, him.
Phil was different.
He's the guy.
Yeah,
Phil
that's
was
it.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, going back to what you asked, like I've never really idolized one bodybuilder. I love watching Dorian Yates training videos. I like watching JP and Corinne, how they train. Yeah, people like that. Watch a lot of Ronnie Coleman, who doesn't. You know?
Yeah, Ronnie Coleman's an absolute monster. So for me, you know, when I was growing up, you know, again, I was kind of a shit amateur. It's fine. It's okay. I can admit that, right? Never got first call to nationals. But me personally, I would always look at body parts, right? Like I would look at like, you know, Jake Cutler's like quads. I'm like, wow, hey, that quads. What the fuck? I want those feathers, right? I would look at like Kai Green's back. I want that. And I would look at like Johnny Jackson's traps. And I'm like, I want that. Was that more of you? Like you looked at body parts maybe, and you were like, I want to look like that. Like, I want that fucking, them quads.
No, I just wanted to be me. I've always just wanted to be me my whole life. I've always been like just a very independent, just me, myself. I never really got like followed other people around with anything. I just kind of gone my own way. Yeah. I mean, I've always known what I could look like if I put on the muscle, like I can see it. And that was kind of just the vision I had, like what I wanted for myself.
Did you see the Tri-City Classic, the bodybuilders in that show?
The one that just passed?
The one that just passed
Yeah,
this
yeah,
weekend, right? How did you feel about their conditioning?
The women or the men?
Yeah, the women's bodybuilding.
I think they were really good, actually.
Did
a
you?
little bit, for the most part, better than normal.
I disagree. You know,
No?
I disagree. It's okay. People can hate me on it.
What
I
about
feel
Tina?
I feel like
You didn't think she was
I
conditioned?
feel like none of them were conditioned, to be honest with you. Not even close. I think if you put women's physique conditioning on any one of those top three frame, you're talking about Andrea Shaw just getting a fucking
Yeah,
medal, right?
women's physique
Why
is so
the fuck
conditioned.
is women's bodybuilding just softer? Why is that?
Yeah, I've actually talked to a couple people about that. Man, I don't know. I think, again, we just have a smaller pool of people as far as talent to pull from.
Right.
Michaela Aycock is one of the most
She's
conditioned
insane. Yeah, but
people of all time. So if
she's
she
unbelievable.
But if she can
Hats
do it,
off to
that
her.
means other people can do it too.
Do you think it's like they're not willing to go through suffering, or do you think that they're just rewarding that softer look? So that's why, because Michaela did lose to Tampa Pro last year. What's her name?
Christina.
Okay, she did
Christina
lose that.
Cole.
Christina
Yeah.
was
Fucking
softer.
savage,
Yeah.
though.
Amazing, beautiful. Imagine her with Michaela's conditioning. Bro,
I mean, that would be insane.
that'd be insane. So why are these girls not getting conditioned? I'm very confused.
Is it water retention? Is it gear that's being used?
It could.
asking her. Let's find out.
I mean, I don't know. It could very well be gear. I think a lot of the women's bodybuilders too use gear that their coaches don't know about, kind of like what we touched on. But I've definitely heard of people doing that, like just adding their own stuff in, fucking around on peak week. I heard one girl was taking MDMA every day for 2 weeks straight
What?
because she said it made her look drier.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it would do that technically.
I mean, technically, scientifically, yeah.
I'm not going to put it in anyone's peaking protocol,
No.
but, you know, technically.
Yeah, I mean, there's very few shows, man, that I'm impressed. You know, like I'm serious. I'm not like I'm always gonna speak my honest truth. Michaela's the only one I feel like that comes in just fucking peeled. You know,
Yeah.
so on your frame specifically, I think if you even came close, no one could be hurt. Michaela, she's fucking ridiculous conditioning, right? But if women start getting closer to that conditioning, I think you're gonna see a lot more support.
I
Honestly,
think so, too.
and I think people are gonna be like in awe. You know, because right now I'm seeing like kind of out of shape bitches walking around, like
That's not
hitting some
impressive.
poses. Like it's not impressive to me,
No.
right? Like when I watch Olympia. And I see Phil Heath come out, I'm gonna pick always Phil Heath guy, right? I was very hard on Samson, right? Too, or Derek Lunsford, peeled to the bone. That's like holy fuck.
Yeah.
Keon Pearson. Nobody gave a fuck about Keon when he was fat as shit on stage in Olympia, right? He got last fucking place, but that man walked on stage, peeled to the bone. What happens? Wow.
Well, he's unbeatable now.
Unbeatable,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I feel like some of the girls that just competed last weekend, if they would just have any kind of conditioning like that, you'd have so much bigger fans, you know?
Yeah.
That's my opinion. It's a rough opinion, but it is my opinion.
No, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. It's supposed to be the most extreme division.
Absolutely.
So if you're not bringing that level of freakiness, then you're not really fulfilling the division.
Exactly.
It's absolutely
But
true.
I do think they're maybe I try to think both sides. Women's bodybuilding is women's bodybuilding, right? You have to be big. And to get to that condition, you have to downsize a little bit, right? So do you think they're going more for fullness and just because Christina did win over Michaela. So do you think they're seeing that and that's why they're playing this softer? Like you're a woman's bodybuilder, you hear everything. So what's the going around?
I really think people just don't know. I really don't because how many women's bodybuilding shows do we have?
Not many.
So where do you get the standard? Like where do you get the idea of what they're really looking for? Because even if you look last year, Michaela won Atlanta, right? And then lost to Christina in Tampa. But she looked better in Tampa than she did in Atlanta, but she lost to somebody that looked completely different from her. So if you have that every single show, how is anybody supposed to know what look to go for?
So here's my thing, right? Michaela, like, arguably has some of the worst genetics, like from the front, right? She stands from the front, she's very wide, but she comes in so fucking peeled and she beats everybody.
But not at the Olympia, though.
It doesn't matter. But I'm saying most shows she steps on, she beats everyone. Now just imagine if these people just came in the condition that she was in.
Well, yeah.
You're talking about battles like you wouldn't even see. You're talking about people, the support would just be unreal. Like that's why I think women's physique is to me, I think a little bit like more respected because of the conditioning level.
I think so too.
Like Sarah's like, dude, I'm fucking peeled. I am the most conditioned. I'm more conditioned than the men.
Yeah, she is.
Girl, you are.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you. Natalia Coelho, girl, you're fucking peeled. So I don't know, man. Maybe you could change that, okay?
I'm going to try to.
Please change that for us because your frame, dude, peeled to the bone.
Dude,
that's what I want to do.
Wow.
Like, I mean, prep is going easy so far, so we'll see. We'll just
how many weeks out?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So
how are you feeling being this far out? You feeling pretty
I
confident?
feel great, yeah.
Yeah? You have all the size in the world. Wow.
I hope so. We'll see. That's the only thing I'm worried about because that's always what I felt like held me back on stage as far as a women's bodybuilder because I'm so tall.
Right. Yeah, but I think you filled it out nicely. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When we went to the posing seminar, I saw you walking around. I'm like, dude, she has fucking tripled in size.
Ooh, good. Good to hear.
Wow, like unbelievable. Like seriously, unbelievable.
Thank you.
You know, really good. So they did bring back women's bodybuilding to what, Tampa, right?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel when you heard that?
Well, I mean, I was stoked because I'm definitely going to do that show now.
Because they're pretty close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Chicago and then 2 weeks later. Mm-hmm.
Wow, nice. And that's your hometown.
Yeah, it was the first bodybuilding show I ever went to too. So
Wow.
definitely really cool to compete there again.
Yeah. Who's all doing Chicago that you know?
I know Melissa. I can't say her last name. Teak. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think
Miss
so.
Beast on Instagram. She was a women's physique Olympian, and then she classed up to women's bodybuilding. She looks really, really good. She's already like pretty fucking conditioned, so she'll be tough to beat.
How do you stay out of your head now that you're a pro? Because you have not stepped on a pro stage, right?
No, I did last year, but it was
did
terrible.
last year?
It was terrible.
Wow, was it terrible?
I did everything I was supposed to do. I followed my plan perfectly. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have. I looked really, really good 3 weeks out, and then I just started to get watery and flat. It started to look like shit. My weight started to go up a little bit, and my previous coach at the time, I told him what was going on. I expressed my concerns, and he said, just keep everything the same. We kept everything the same, and it didn't get better, and we kept everything the same, and it didn't get better. And then a day out, we did carbs, and that did nothing.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
So what do you think it was?
I was just flat. I was super duper fucking flat, and probably like over dieted.
That's what I was gonna say. Completely over depleted. Just
because I looked really good 3 weeks out. Like my glutes were in, like everything was good to go. Just needed to pull a little bit more off, but then it just kind of all fell to shit. So it was not my favorite look for myself at all.
Right. And do you think that, like, how long were you dieting for that show? Was that after the national run?
Yeah. So
you went straight into it?
I think I took like 2 months off.
And then straight back to another. How long was the prep?
18 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So what I've seen, dude, is I've seen that once you get, like, you were good for nationals, right?
Oh, yeah.
Got the pro card,
Nationals
ready
was
for
great.
battle, right? 2 months later, it's not a lot of time to rebound, right? So, and if you go straight back into a hardcore diet again, it's hard to bring that same look. Yeah. It's hard to even get back there because how much weight did you put on from nationals to the start of prep?
So I had kept my weight pretty low after nationals for a while, and then we actually did like a quick little off season where we pushed food really, really hard, like high food. And I got up to 210, which was not like, it wasn't a bad 210, but it wasn't a good 210 either. Then we had a bitch of a time getting back down.
Yeah, because it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you haven't let your body rebound.
No, it was too much back and forth.
Yeah, and we've kind of learned that too. Like, thank God his body's different though. He can just fucking go forever. Feels like he's like freaking ancient.
Once I'm on it, yeah.
He's insane. Every show we did last year was better. It was 8 weeks per show. It was 8 weeks, 8 weeks, 8 weeks.
Oh, that's really good, yeah.
On top of the 20-week prep we did for the first show. So we're talking 40 weeks of like his body responding, right? So I was very surprised. But a lot of athletes, man, I'm seeing like they're every case by case, it's hard to push them. And when you push them and then you get to a show, and let's just say you did take 2 months off, you can't compete for a year.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you have to take that time off. You know? Is that what you did?
I know that now.
Yes.
So was that was the main reason why you switched coaches or what?
Well, that and I was just not getting, any of the communication I needed. Like if I had a client that was flat for 3 weeks before a show, like for the whole 3 weeks, I would do something about it and like getting worse. Cause I sent him pictures every day and I was like, look, I clearly looked better a week ago. Like it should be going the opposite way. And he was just like, no, it's fine.
It's hard, man. Like,
especially if you have a pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's hard because he maybe was like, you know what, she's just flat. Maybe there's no carbs. Let me push the conditioning, maybe. But then again, it's just obviously I don't know what you're doing, so I'm sure I could break it all down, but I just don't have it. But it's tough. Everyone's different, and it's sad that when you're communicating something, the coach doesn't at least hear you, right? Like there's a lot of times, man, where I have a lot of clients in their heads or something. I will pick up the call and let me just call them real quick, like, chill them the fuck out, you know.
Well, and it was crazy because I talked about that prep with another girl that had been with him at the time, and she left him too, and I told her what my diet was, and she was like, oh, I would have cheated on that. I said, well, I didn't. And she said, well, he had me doing something similar. And she said 4 weeks out, she just took herself out to get sushi.
Yeah.
And she told him after the fact, and he was like, okay, good move. And that was, I was like, well, why didn't I do that?
Yeah.
Because you stuck to the
I know, because I stuck to the plan. Yeah. That's what I do.
To the shit plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really proud of myself.
When you dig your body in that deep of a hole, though, there's almost no return.
No, I knew that.
There is no return.
The next day, it took until like maybe 2 days later for me to kind of like feel like I filled out and looked like okay-ish.
Like after the competition?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when that happens with me, usually I'll give them like 3 rest days and three high carb days.
Yeah.
Like you have to do that. And I'm talking like I don't like doing it on a peak week or like 2 weeks out because it's hard.
Like that 3 week mark.
But 3
that's
week out,
perfect.
I've had to do it in 2 weeks out before with clients. Like their body's just taking a shit. They're dead. Actually, you know who did it for Christina, bro? I did it for Christina. She was texting me. This was a week before. This is this show, right? This was the Thursday before. She texted me. She's like, I feel like absolute shit. I am hurting. My body's sore. Called her, figured it out. Gave her 3 days off. No cardio. No training. I think she trained anyway, a little shit. But she trained anyway. Gave her 3 high carb days. This was before peak week. Monday going to the show, her body she was good.
Yeah.
And she was able to push again. So sometimes you guys have to do it. And it's tough. But some coaches, maybe they're too busy. They don't care.
Yeah, I kind of think that's what it boiled down to.
And a lot of coaches also have other jobs. Like I'm lucky enough to do this full time. He does this full time.
Yeah.
People hire coaches, man, when they're not full time, and then they expect them to be like that's their full time job, and it's just not.
It was his full-time job.
It was his full-time
job. It's okay. It's in the past. It's It already happened. I've moved on. I'm on to bigger and better things. It's all okay. It was a learning experience.
Yeah.
To never do that
It's
again.
probably a learning experience for him, too. He lost an amazing pro, obviously. Someone who has a ton of potential that I truly believe you'll make to Olympia someday.
Thank you.
I promise you. Because I've seen some of these girls that get qualified, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to them at all, but it's exactly what you said. There's not enough people competing, right? Yeah. And we need people who are showing up consistently in shape. And again, I think you're going to see the sport just keep exploding, and that's our fears. My fear is that, because I actually do love women's bodybuilding so much right now because I coach a lot of them right now. And I'm just like, I wanted to stay around, so we have to do something different. And one of the saddest things, actually, we were at his show.
St. Louis, and the promoter came up.
Tell him what happened.
Basically, he was like, there was...
he was pissed.
He was very, very pissed because there were so many people that were supposed to show up. And 4 or 5 of them didn't. And
really?
Yeah, something like that.
Only 3 of them showed up.
Yeah, and it was like he was very pissed off at that point about the women's bodybuilding and that the fact that they need to get together as as a division, and like, you know, hey, we need to get more people going to these shows, because if we don't, then they're going to take it away, which they did take the St. Louis.
He said right there, we're taking
women's
it away.
bodybuilding away, and then they brought it back this year. So I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I saw something that it's back in St. Louis again. So,
but I mean, the passion that I saw from that guy too was like that he actually cared about the division. Like he's like, dude, I don't want to give this shit away, but if it's only, how do I give?
Well, and it's so sad. Like
$10,000
he can't care more than the athletes do.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
It's sad.
It
So
is. It
you're
really
gonna bring
is.
it back. You know,
That's what I'm trying to
bring it
do,
back.
and I think it goes back to a lot of what you were saying, like to make us respected as athletes more, rather than just Instagram people. Like
100%.
we're actually doing this. So why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't we posting about it? And why aren't these girls bringing extreme condition? Like a lot of these pros, again, if you do have OnlyFans, which is fine, no shade, but you have all the time in the world to bring the best condition. Like you don't have to go anywhere to work. You don't have a lot of obligations. Like
You can do your fasted cardio naked. You know,
go walk around the block until you're lean. Like figure it out. You know.
and film it. There you go.
you know, it's. Do you feel like some of that maybe like they get so they can't take the criticism, so maybe that's why they're not posting so much. You know?
I think that's a lot of it, because I've definitely
hard.
felt that myself, especially like before I turned pro, I would post everything all the time, constantly give a shit. And then once I turned pro, I'd have times where I'd think about it, I'd be like, oh, is this like, do I look the way I should right now? Like, is this how I want to represent myself? Like getting in my head about it. And I think a lot of women probably do that too, because they just don't want to be criticized or have people like secretly sharing their Instagram post talking shit. But like, it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, no matter. It doesn't
matter what you post.
Fleas will be fleas forever.
Yeah, you could post literally the best picture ever, be like, I'm 10 weeks out, peeled, I look perfect, and somebody would say something shitty about you.
Shit
so like, yeah, exactly.
What
So
are you
like,
talking about?
at that point, again, why bother caring?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard, because I think that to majority of the people, like women's bodybuilding is like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Who is this person? Why
What
is she
is
a fucking
that? Why?
mohawk thing? What is she doing? Like, she's got to be lesbian, right? And and something that I actually want to talk to you about is, in my experience with women's physique and women's bodybuilding, they're actually so feminine. Like, people think that they're just a bunch of men running around.
Most feminine people.
Have you ever spoke to fucking Jen?
100%.
She is so feminine.
Yes.
She's got her hair done. Like, she's just a normal fucking girl, man.
No,
Like,
it's really like that. I've definitely
Yes.
noticed that too. Well, you have to think like what kind of person wants to get that big, especially a girl. Like, it's a lot of people that were really timid or like awkward growing up, or like were bullied, any number of reasons, but you don't lose that personality. Like, it's still you. Like, yeah, you're bigger now, but you're still the same you. So, you get a lot of these girls that are huge that are also like really just cutesy, girly girls.
Yeah. Priscilla? She's a woman's physique pro in town. Priscilla.
Yeah. I think we did a show together a really long time ago.
Have you ever talked to her? Bro, she is like, she is more feminine than all my bikini girls. I'm not lying. But this
believe
girl
it.
is like freaky big.
Yeah.
Like,
She's a big
Yeah,
girl.
she is.
unbelievable athlete, right? But she is like, oh yes, yes. She's just, I was like, no way. Like, and I wouldn't expect that from her, but she is so feminine. It was so funny. Actually, that girl needs to learn how to train too. We talked about it, right? Bro, I'm not lying. She turned pro. I walked in. It was my first time training her. And I was like, all right, tell me what you normally do. Oh, well, like, I do upper body sometimes, and I do like this. She's pointing at like machines, and she's like, I don't know what that kind of machine like that, like for back, and she's doing like, it's like a chest machine. No idea what she's doing, and this girl is that good. She turned pro and everything.
That's crazy.
Did a pro show and everything. I'm like,
crazy.
yeah. So now obviously I trained her a little bit, and then she's it's just crazy, man. And that's something that I see, and I think that the world kind of doesn't understand, and how do we they're never gonna understand. They're always gonna be like that, But I think the people in our sport, I think we kind of respect it,
Oh, 100%. I feel totally accepted everywhere I go with other bodybuilders.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
Your husband ever have to beat some ass, because they look at you?
We're both really just not. We're so calm and chill people. Like, he looks like he would be scary, but he's a bear. Yeah, he's so nice.
Wow. So you guys have never had that like altercation where like you had to fuck someone
Never
up?
had to drop.
I mean, I don't think people look at us and are like, let's fight them either. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna go try this guy real quick.
yeah.
The big
Like,
guy, the big girl, I ain't fucking with that.
No. He'll rip my head off.
They're gonna rip my head off. I'm over here.
yeah, like I've had some tense moments driving because somebody gets a little road ragey, me, and I'll pull over and people pull out of their car to say something to me, and I'll get out and they'll get out and they just
They just get back in it.
Yeah, they just
I
go.
was just kidding the whole time.
You're actually amazing. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Perfect driving. I just had to say that. I just wanted to get out and say.
I stole this parking spot at the hospital. I was visiting one of my friends. He hurt himself in the gym, and I was gonna go see him. And I definitely stole it. Like this guy was waiting for it, and I was like, "Fuck."
So you were that asshole. You just said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
I'm getting the spot.
Yeah. Well, I had been driving around for like 15 minutes. That's far too long. So I pulled right in, parked the car. He parked his car behind me.
Oh no.
I was like, "All right, cool."
This is gonna be fun. Let me get my camera out.
And he was a pretty big guy. He got out of the car and he was like, "Hey man, hey you, that was my spot." And I was like, "Okay, well I'm in it." He was like, "Well, I was gonna park there," and I said, "Well, you didn't."
Yeah, was.
I said, and he was like, "Well, you should get out of it." I said, "I'm not going to." So
You were that person.
I just stood there. We just stood and looked at each other, and he was like, "All right," and he got in his
my
car and
spot.
left. Yeah.
All right.
I was only there for like 20 minutes. He could have pulled around, waited, come back. It was fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad about that shit too. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I am the first guy to get out of the truck and start talking
I
shit.
mean, yeah, I'm not.
Like, dude, I was going to the fair one time. Funny story. I was going to the fair one time, and dude, there's a fucking line on Fruitful. You know how long the line is on Fruitful to get in the fair, right? You're talking like a mile long, and I'm waiting it patiently. There's a car in front of me, and this guy in a truck pulls up. We're all making a left into the fairground, right? He comes up, cuts off the whole line, and this guy has to slam on his brake and pull in. Dude, I found this guy. I had my kids in the back, like I was whatever. Found this guy. He's coming here. I pull in front of him. I'm like, "Oh, you want to cut in the fucking line?" Dad, I start freaking out, and he's so embarrassed, right? He's cutting the line. So I forgot exactly what happened, but he went and parked the car away from me on the other side. So I parked kind of on this side. So I'm in the line. This guy changes fucking shirts, bro. He changes shirts, he changes everything, and he comes behind me. I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro, you want to come cut this line too?" And like, he was so embarrassed, dude. It was so funny. And I am the first guy.
Good.
The first guy.
Got a little inflatable hammer and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, pretty much. Ever happened to you? We just get out of the car.
No, I haven't gotten to that stage
way,
of anger in my life yet.
No way. Not once?
No, there has been guys that jumped out on me before, and then I'll open the door and start to step out, and then same thing.
Same thing. They don't want to stay.
All right, and then I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's happened to me many times.
Believe me, I want it, dude. I'll love the smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm always pretty calm when I get out though, because I know I'm big. Like,
No,
what's
that's
going on?
yeah.
I'm always very fucking calm. There was one time I was driving, long story short, I was driving, girl was in the passenger seat. I was wearing a bright pink shirt. I mean, this was probably when I was like 21, 22. I was doing a lot of fucking MMA at that time. So I was about it. I was like, please. So this guy, long story short, he cuts me off, and then I cut him off, and then he pulls down. He's in the car. He's on this side of me, right? Got a pink shirt on. Long story short, he's freaking out. "Get out of the car, you pussy, da-da-da." What? Okay, fine, bro. Didn't say a word. I'm like, okay. Open the door. Literally take my shirt off, my pink shirt, throw it in the car. So going to the movies, throw it in the car, go walk around. He's like, "Oh shit!" And the wife's like, "Get back in the car!" And then they spud away, and I didn't say a word. Still, and I just got back in the car and went to the movies. But it's just, yeah, I am not a road. I am the first guy. Like, I don't like that shit. But no, man, it seriously, it's a pleasure having you on here. Honestly, like, thank you so much for coming on. I think that's about time, right? Or you want to keep going a little? What time we got?
Yeah, it's pretty much around that time. So you said that you had your own facility. Is that facility gone now, or what?
Yeah, so I opened it up. I love training people. I love coaching people. Long story short, I was like, I'm going to build my own gym, do it better, have a better experience, be able to cultivate the own, kind of culture that I want.
Yep.
And I did, but through the process of that, I found out that I really hated owning a business. I like to be able to travel. I like to be able to do things on my time. And I really like training and coaching people. And it was just taking away from all of those things so much. Like, I couldn't even enjoy what I was doing as far as working with my clients because I was so stressed out about the gym. So when the lease was up after 5 years, I just sold everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it like super? Like, cause obviously someday I think I may want to open up a gym. We'll see. What's the overhead on that? Was it like a lot? Like, it was like too much. You got the rent. You got the
the
equipment.
rent itself in Tampa was like $5,300.
Wow. So how big was the space?
6,000 square feet.
Okay. So it's not huge, but it's medium
It
size.
was big enough. Yeah, it was like warehouse size.
Nice, kind of like Picture Fitness, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say any numbers here, but I think even like the spot we're at, I think it's like over like fucking 10 grand, 15 grand
like that.
for a little spot. Like, that's insane.
Damn.
How do you do that? Plus rent the equipment and do everything.
Yeah.
So were you kind of stressed out at that point too? Like,
Yeah,
you were like,
it was
what?
just-
It's better to just go separate ways.
because I wasn't enjoying what I was doing anymore. Like, I love coaching and training people. Like, I can do that. It doesn't feel like work for me. Like, it's totally easy for me to do that. But to get up and go in that gym and open it up and like go through the computer and be like, "You owe me money, you owe me money, you owe me money." Like, I don't. I don't like that.
Yeah. And then, so is that what you're doing full time right now?
Yep.
It's just coaching and
We're at Powerhouse, you said again?
Is that the one that we go to, right? The one that we
On
seminar?
Florida?
Is
No,
that's
the one on Hillsborough. The Florida one's like an old school, like
Gotcha.
grungy dungeon gym.
I gotta check that one out.
It's dope. It's
need to
been there
make-
for like 40 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
need to make some more.
Was that one there
trips
longer than
on
the other
there.
one?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I want to. I mean, this weekend is Christina's posing. So Christina and KB, they're posing seminar over there in
Metroflex. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that.
I'll be over there at that one. I'll be doing some filming and stuff like that. I'll get my workout probably afterwards. So that's gonna be good to go out
Oh, we're
there.
training after there too. What
There
are
we
you
go.
doing? We're doing legs.
That's a great question.
He's doing legs too. Fuck us, that's up. Talking all that shit about having biggest legs in max physique. She's gonna show you.
Let's do it. I don't give a fuck. I'll film it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
let's go.
That'd be
We're
good.
doing quads at 1
Fucking,
p.m.
we'll mic it up. Just fucking.
Yeah, I got I don't know if you know Esteban 212 Pro. I can't say his Instagram name. He went to the Olympia last year.
Maybe if I see him, I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
He's gonna train, and then Kieran, you know Kieran, he's gonna train with us too, so you can come get a little
around.
quad.
So I did actually remind me of something. I did want to talk about something. So No Place, More Dates or whatever. He made a video of you that went viral. You're famous now.
More plates, more days.
Isn't that the one?
No,
Who was
No,
it?
Kenny KO.
no,
Who is it? You know who I'm talking about. We talking
Kenny
about?
I
K-
know.
Who are we talking about?
Jesse James.
That's who it is. Was it really? That's who it is. Okay. So you're famous.
No,
You know?
I'm not. But
Did you know about this?
No.
So we're going to tell us the story.
well, it was.
Yeah, let's go.
He saw that I was in Vegas for the Olympia. I was just going to watch a client compete in the amateur, and he messaged me and he was like, "Oh, I'm doing a video about women that use steroids. Would you be interested in it?" And I looked through his page and made sure it wasn't like completely fucking weird.
Yeah.
When I saw he was like pretty okay guy, I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we met up at Dragon's Lair and we just did the interview there, and he pulled pieces from it. But I mean, it was a pretty funny interview, to be honest.
It was very. What was the highlight?
What's his name? Jesse James West?
Yeah,
Something like
Jesse
that?
James
Okay, I
West.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually blown up. The kid,
No, he
he's a
is.
young
Huge.
kid.
He's been-
Honestly,
huge
he
for a
was
while.
so nice though.
He's
Like, it's
unbelievable.
such a sensitive topic, but he was so respectful and so cool the entire time
Yeah,
about it. I never felt like he was like making fun of me or making fun of anyone.
Yeah.
It was just very, very professional, honestly, for a YouTube kid.
Yeah,
Right.
he's a good kid.
Well, I think he's
watched
probably
him
done
and
so
stuff.
many of those. You know,
Yeah.
he's got to be. You got to like be touchy. And if you look at most of his content, he's a nice ass.
No,
kid.
he is.
He
really,
seems like
really
a good kid.
is.
You know, Mr. Beast, I heard's an asshole. I don't know if that's true.
I've heard
I heard he's
I've
a
heard
fucking
that.
dick.
Everyone heard that, bro. So we're on the same page on
He's
Mr.
nice
Beast.
as shit on camera, but behind the scenes,
I heard he's a dick.
he's like Lizzo.
That's what I've heard.
How are you
yeah.
that big of an asshole though? If you're giving out that much money, you're taking care of the world like that. Like,
Performative.
wow, all for marketing.
People love to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're famous, guys. So go check out that video. You know,
Yeah.
she's absolutely famous, and hopefully, you know, we're famous on this one too someday. You know, we'll see. So you're right now. You're good. You're a bodybuilder. You're gonna keep training. Do you have any other dreams? Like, what else do you want to do besides that?
Well, I want to move.
Yeah?
That's one big one. Out
Where do you
of
wanna
country.
move?
Out of country, somewhere different.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why is that?
What's 1, 2, and 3 top countries that you're thinking about right now?
Probably the UK.
Okay.
Number one, somewhere over there because I speak
You wanna
English
go,
and
you
they
want to go
speak
to JP
English.
and fucking
Yeah, that would be
and
crazy.
Cuba, go fuck with them.
Oh my god,
That'd be sick.
That would
Okay.
be sick.
What else?
Probably Australia number 2 because again,
beautiful.
English. I don't want to learn.
Beautiful.
I know a little bit of Spanish, but I don't really want to learn any language.
Nah, I
and
hear you.
I've learned enough.
For sure.
Maybe Russia.
Russia?
Because of
Maybe,
the-
Bro.
only
Saudi?
because of him. Not anytime.
Russia's badass. Like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like Russia
You be
don't play
fighting
shit.
bears and
I
shit,
heard.
yeah?
I heard about
Yeah,
that.
Russia
yeah.
they do not play. Like, dude,
So
even
the
like
2-3 years Dagestan.
forget. Dude, I know. I fucking love them. No, I think out of all those, it would not be the UK. It'd probably be Australia, dude. Australia's
Really?
beautiful. Oh my god, bro. Dude, you ever watch like Youngblood? We do. Youngblood spearfishing with who's homeboy? Main guy.
Yeah, I know what
his
you're talking about. YBS.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Remember
Right
name?
now.
Beautiful.
Brody.
Moss. Oh my god, bro, beautiful. You ever watch that channel?
No.
I'd be want to move in there right now.
Oh yeah,
Like it
You
is
can
so
find
nice.
some
I haven't been
very
there
very
yet.
beautiful
So-
spots, but then you got all the fucking most deadliest creatures in the world.
Snakes and shit.
I mean, we're in Florida right now.
I mean,
have,
we are
like-
basically the outback of America.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are.
I think if
For
you can
sure.
handle Florida, you're good
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
anywhere.
So why do you want to move? Why don't you like America?
Oh, I do like it here. I just have lived here most of my life, and I want to go live somewhere
Do
else.
something different.
What about your husband? What's he say?
He's as long as I'm happy, he's happy.
That's perfect.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. There we go. Happy wife, happy
Yeah,
life. There
that's
you go.
you know
That's
Russians. That's how they all are. Yeah,
exactly. And you know that's crazy. So he's super traditional then.
yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
traditional. So if you went over there, what would they say looking at you? What do you think like his family would say?
Well, he doesn't have any family either, which is probably why we get along so well.
Because they are very traditional over there in Russia.
Yeah, his family when they were alive were very traditional, but he always kind of stood out too the same way I did. Like he was tatted up and called the Satanist everywhere he went. He's not, but he was called that everywhere just because of his appearance. Like, so it's all very traditional there.
Yeah, I think that's like a stigma. Like you see the tats, you see like the earrings and the fucking things.
Yeah.
Do you think why is all this? Like what made you do all of it?
Oh man, I love body modification. You can't tell. It's like my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every like 6 months or so, I'll just look in the mirror and be like, man, I don't look weird enough. I've been wanting to shave this eyebrow off.
Just really?
Just
fucking one?
Yeah, for like the last 6 months, but nobody will let me do it. Every time I'm about to do it, somebody's like, don't do that. But,
I mean, that's the perfect time to do it when people.
Well, and also I wake up before anybody else too. So if one day I just was like, man, today's the day. Yeah, just take it off.
So what else do you want to do then? Do you want to get like gauges or anything like crazy like that? You ever like gauges?
I'm just worried about something ripping when I work out. That's the only thing. Or I'd already have.
Yeah,
a lot.
Because that's always sucks, man. When it cuts and it rips, and then you have like them hanging things. Like that would suck. What about like tongue cutting and shit? Like
I thought about that. I wanted to get like the thing right there.
That'd be kind of fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I got my tongue pierced one of the first preps I ever did, and it really helped me not eat for a while. Yeah. So
why is it just something in your mouth messing?
It just hurt.
Oh, okay.
So,
because then you can do that most muscular, right? Yeah. And then the most muscular with your tongue.
Oh my God, think of that, right?
Could you fucking imagine cutting your tongue and you just like
I heard it really hurts though. I've seen people do it, and you have to like sit with ice on it for like 2 weeks or something crazy like that. Yeah.
What about tattoos? Any more tattoos?
No, not until I'm done competing.
Yep. This man has no tattoos.
Really? No.
He's the only person I met that has like no tattoos.
2025, none.
No, not yet. I mean, but if I get one, I mean, I'm Hawaiian, so I was going to do more new age, kind of modern, something like that. But I want somebody who actually understands my culture, you know what I mean? And then when it came to bodybuilding and everything like that, and I was modeling and stuff. And
you kind of can't have a lot of them.
Yeah, you can't really have that. So, and obviously, if you have a tattoo, bodybuilding underneath the lights sometimes it kind of washes some detail out. So when I retire from here, I get my tattoo.
Yeah, that's why I stopped getting them. I have them on like my arms and a little on my chest and sides, but nothing that would like
really detract from the overall look. Exactly.
You know what's crazy, man?
It's not like I'm scared. I'm not scared to get a fucking tattoo. It's just
we didn't ask if you were scared. But
no, I know. But I mean, a lot of people.
Maybe it's scared. Are you scared? Should we ask?
Afraid of needles?
What, are you scared of a tattoo? No, not at all. I'm not.
Yeah, I think if you're going to be a competitive bodybuilder, do not get a tattoo. You know what's crazy is I've asked a lot of judges that too. Like, how big does tattoos affect? Oh, no, it doesn't affect.
But it does.
Shut up.
It does.
Of course it does. Yes.
I mean, you're not going to look the same, and you have to put more layers of tanner on if you're going to cover it up. And that
or they try. You ever seen anyone do like the cover up makeup?
It looks like shit. Though.
Looks like
so bad.
It's like trash in the light.
Yeah. And this is what I always tell people: if you can get like a base tan too, let's talk about tan for a little bit. Like, there's less like spray tan on you, so your muscle is going to show out.
And I had a friend that turned pro in classic physique, and he tried to turn pro 1 year, and he didn't do it. And one of the big things he changed was he got a base tan before because he was so pale that they had to put like 6 layers of fucking tan on him. Yep. So when he only had to get 1 layer, so much better.
Yeah, because the skin's thinner. There's not this big. Guys, they're spraying you with stuff. It's a layer.
Yeah.
Imagine painting a wall. You can't see what's underneath. Yeah. You know. So big tip there for you guys.
No, I've been tanning.
Yeah. What do you even do for tanning? Like tanning bed?
We have a tanning bed at the gym.
Just go in there?
In, just pop on in there.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you now, no one's going to be darker than that Mike guy, dude. I'm going to give him a fucking shout out. You see how tan he is? This guy's black. He's like this shit.
Mike.
Bro, oh my gosh, one of my athletes. I'm not lying. He was in the tanning bed probably every day. Was he taking Milano tan?
He said he took it initially, and then he didn't anymore. He took like one fucking.
Yeah. So he kept taking it.
You ever tried Milano tan?
I did, yeah.
How was it?
It worked, but I know some people get like awful digestion from it.
Really? What about like sickness? What about like sickness? You ever get sickness?
That's pretty much what they do. So either the digestion or the sickness part. And so I've heard 1 or 2 ways, or 2 ways of how to kind of like combat that. One is to take it at night, right? Yep. So that's number 1. So that's the first one that I've heard. But some people still wake up with, fucked up stomach and whatever, not feeling too well. Second thing is to get out in the sun 15, 20 minutes right after you take it. Like, get the fuck in the sun ASAP.
Does it allow your body to absorb
the moment that you administer it?
Take it at night, and go out in the sun.
Well, yeah, you have to go out in the sun, but the other one is as soon as you take it, go out in the sun.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it'd be hard to do both.
Right, exactly. So you can either one, take it at night to kind of like combat the feeling
That's
sick,
what I always
right?
did when I took
or
it.
two, take it and then go to the beach. They say that's supposed to combat the sickness too, so I don't know.
I will not.
I've never taken it yet. I got some chilling in my fridge.
No, you do not.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
please take it. I want to see how dark it is.
Oh, it's
Get
good. It
fucking
works a little
black,
bit
dude.
as a fat burner too.
I heard it's got a little bit of that. So I don't know.
So talking about PEDs, you can answer this or not. There's a lot of women that are going to watch this podcast, and they're like kind of scared. They don't know what supplements, what PEDs to do. What are the safe ones that you recommend that you really didn't see much side effects on?
I mean, none of them are safe.
Come on, some of them are safer than others, though. You know?
There's some of them are definitely safer than others. Anavar is like little baby steroids. That's I mean,
I tell people the same thing. Yeah.
it is
It's a little gateway.
Yeah. I really like Primo. That's pretty much what I've run my whole bodybuilding career at different dosages, obviously, but never really had to go super duper high with it. And then just adding something with it. Like I did MPP a lot in off seasons to help bulk up. I like growth, obviously. Growth is better when you use it alongside another anabolic. A lot of people try and use it by itself and you get some results, but not the same as if you were to pair it with the Primo. IGF-1 is something I got into this last off season that I really, really liked. I had never used it before, but that was great.
That's why she's so damn big, bro.
That's smart, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I really like that one. Anything, I don't like, obviously I've taken stuff that does affect your sex hormone. You can hear it in my voice, but I try and stay away from like huge amounts of stuff that works with that because again,
I actually think your voice is not that bad at all.
I don't think
talk
so.
to you, I don't think it's that bad.
I've heard worse.
Yes.
So
I've heard way worse.
I've heard way worse from teeny tiny girls, and
Right?
I'm like, I was like, what was the point of that? Like, if you,
Some of these bikini girls, though,
it's scary,
bro. Some of these bikini girls, man, they are insane. Like they're pushing shit beyond their limits. I'm telling you, like your voice is
They
so
take
feminine
Tren,
compared to
too.
them. No, come
Yes.
on, no.
Yes.
Who the hell's taking Tren?
I can't tell you that, but
So there's bikini
Offline.
girls. There's bikini girls taking Tren right
they
now.
microdose it.
No, they don't. Come on.
It's a microdose. It
What
doesn't
the fuck
count.
is
It's
considered a
mic-
microdose for a woman?
They'll do like they'll pull it up to like 0.2 or something like
like
that. A little
2 milligrams a day or something like that. Well, it's like 4.
or like
4
every other
milligrams.
day. Yeah, they
Wow.
do. They do.
No way.
Crazy.
Way.
That is unbelievable. That makes a lot of sense though. You know, because I do think these girls are getting fucking big, dry, hard, and there's a thing for that. So with me, you know, I totally agree with you. The safe ones, Anavar, Primo, MPP in the same doses. Like I feel like after 50 milligrams, that's when I think shit starts happening.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree with that.
I think
I don't go
25
over
is on the
that.
safer mark.
Yeah.
Where I don't think you'll see a side effect for a while.
No, I mean I've had girls whose voice have changed on Primo, and they did such a small dose for such a short time that when they got off, went right back.
Wow. It went right back to normal.
Yeah, not mine, but theirs did.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, in my experience with it, I think it's a very safe, but can be very fast. And I think you have to watch your body. You know, when you do it, guys, if you start, I had one person, I can say who it is, but started seeing something like in her voice, started feeling something, we just pulled it back. You know, we just pulled it back and got off. Like there's nothing wrong. You know, again, I think Anavar is the safest.
Yeah,
Anavar is
for
the
sure.
safest. And like, I tell you, man, I've worked with this compound for longer than all the rest, and I've seen zero side effects.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people about the possible side effects just to be transparent, but I've never seen any either.
Yeah. Well, let's just say you take 100 milligrams. Let's say you took 100 milligrams of Anavar.
Oh, that wouldn't be too good.
We're seeing side effects.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
So it's all about, you know, your dose.
Well, and that's the problem too. A lot of people use these and they get a great effect from something little. So they're like, oh, what if I just did it?
exactly.
Oh, what if I
Yep. Or they're like, you know, I'll be like, hey, cut this 25 milligram pill in 1/4. Take 6 milligrams. Is that really going to do anything?
Yes.
Like, yes, girl. Yes.
Absolutely.
And they're scared, right? They're scared because they don't think it's going to work. And they want to win the show. And they're like, let me just do more. More is not always better.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite. I'll be like, can I do less than that?
Yeah.
But I think more people need to have that mindset because a lot of people skip the work that goes before adding the enhancements because like we all know they don't do anything for you. They just assist what you're already doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I get so many new clients, like new to the sport, new to bodybuilding, that immediately want to jump on gear. And I'm like, bro, you haven't even followed a diet for a month. Like,
Yeah. Is your eating on point? What about, you know, this is the biggest red flag to me. Like when I know they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Is I'm like, okay, what are you on? Okay, I'm on test, you know, let's just say test, mass, and Arimidex. Okay, not bad, right? What kind of natural supplements are you taking? Nothing.
Nothing.
What are we doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Exhaust that first. Like, that's still going to go hand in hand. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, I agree with you. I think people jump to it way too fast because they do all have side effects. They all change your body forever. I mean, I don't, it's natural leagues are what they are, but there's a reason why you can't compete in them if you have done anything in the last 7 years. Like, even a little something has an effect on it.
Do you know why that is?
What, for the natural shows?
No, yeah, exactly. Do you know why that is? Like, okay, let's say you take tests. What does it do to your body that let's say you get off, still years from now, it's still in your system?
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's in your system, but what it does, it creates more cells for you to absorb protein.
It's changed your body.
It changes forever.
Yes.
Like, even though you're still going to create those cells. And those cells are still in you. And that's why I think that natural shows need to be 100% natural for
I do too. That's a big pet peeve of mine because I had a girl that won. Thank God she won her pro card in the natural show she did because she should have. It was NGA.
Okay.
The girl that won her class, she took second, but they still gave her the pro card. The girl that won her class had competed 25 years prior, took those 25 years off and competed again. But it was very clear that when she competed in the past, she looked like damn near a pro qualifier figure girl, like cap delts, everything, like striated glutes. I was like, bro, ain't no way.
Yeah, you're
like, this is now natty show.
Do they blood test or they pee test you or blood test you or anything?
So if you win, they pee test you, and if you go to a pro show as a natural and win, then they blood test you. I had people do both.
But here's the thing: if let's just say you take Anavar and you just stop it a few days out, it's pretty much out of your fucking system.
A lot of people do that. I think.
So how do you even do it? You can't. It's really hard.
And they have the lie detector test, but if you can control your physiological response, that's the thing. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, man? Like people go to that extreme to get a little pro card, a little natural pro card.
Yeah, and I'm not talking shit about the natural league, but like, woo, you know, like
I'm on the same boat. I'm a big NPC guy.
I'm the same.
Big IFBB guy.
If you can't go to the Olympia from that show in some trajectory, like,
Well, I think that's just that bodybuilder heart. You know, like you want to it's like NFL, dude, for America, right? You got arena football, that's fun, right? But no, it's the fucking NFL. Like that is where you go.
Yeah.
And if you're not competing in the NPC, you're never gonna get to the IFBB.
No.
So you have to.
And that's fine. Like if you want to do those natural shows, but then be natural.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
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 Fucking embrace the entire thing. And I mean, some people wear that natty badge though as a fucking
they do.
Good old badge right there.
Well, if you ever go to those shows, 90% of it is them talking shit about people that use steroids, which is always so funny to me. I'm like, bro, focus on you. Like, we don't talk about natural shows at the NPC. Like Mel Chancey's like, oh, thank God we're not OCB. Like we don't do that. So I don't understand why they.
You know what makes me so mad? It's like all these people get mad at us and they're like, oh, you know, they post pictures like, oh, I'm natural all over the fucking ball. Bro, you fucking look natural.
Yeah, we know.
You look natural, bro. You don't have to say it. We're good. We figured it out just by scrolling.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's fine. You can be that.
But don't talk shit about us.
No.
Just because I'm willing to do a little bit more to look better.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're weak. I'm strong, okay?
This just been crossing my fucking Instagram feed. It was like Natty News Daily or something like that. And I was like, when the fuck?
They have a news feed now?
Something like that. Yeah, straight up. And so, I mean, it's basically like be on the stage, but before Natty's, right? And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then the next day, same thing, another one. I was like, what did I do? Not interested. Hit the 3 bars, not interesting. Get this the fuck off my feet. I'm tired of seeing this shit.
Why are people like that, man? Like, why would they not take steroids? Like, let's be honest.
Well, again, they wear that badge of honor.
Man, I don't know. Steroids are great.
They feel like like a high horse.
Disclaimer.
I mean, I love them. They've been great for me. I guess for women, it makes more sense for me. Like, if a woman tells me she wants to be a lifetime natural, I kind of get it a little bit more. But for men, I really don't understand. Like, if I were a man, I would be on test all the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
24/7, 365, never stop. Why wouldn't you do that?
I don't know. I was natural for a long time, actually. I was natural until I was about 22, 23.
That's not that long.
And
that's
again,
like
hey, listen up. Okay, that was a long fucking time
not
for this guy, right?
As a toddler, you were natural. Great.
I was natural till 33.
He was natural 33.
See, that's a little more.
Listen, bro. Okay, listen. I was biggest. So
you got out of college and you're like, it's time.
I wasn't even in college. I was just training in the gym. You know, the thing is, I was benching 4 plates naturally. Like I was squatting 6 plates naturally.
Well, then it was your time.
It was my fucking time.
Yeah.
I was eating all the food, doing all the training. Nothing was fucking happening. Like I maxed out my physique, and then I got really into bodybuilding. I saw Kai Green. I saw Generation Hour, and I'm like, wow, this looks fun. Like, you know, I saw Kai Green Overkill, which guys, go watch that. If you're a bodybuilder, you gotta watch Kai Green Overkill.
Oh my god, yeah.
Put me into bodybuilding. Like that's the suffering it takes, right? That's why I was able to fucking suffer so much. But that's really the pushing point for me, where I was like, you know what? I'm done being average, bro. Even though I wasn't really average with fucking basketball, but I was still like, I'm done being like mediocre. Let me see where I could push it.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it only took me so long because I didn't know where to get any. to be honest.
Where? What do you mean?
Steroids when I first started. I would have jumped right on them.
No way.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
No way. So what age
I
did you
was so
start?
small and weak. I was like struggling for the first couple of years I was doing. First thing I ever did was just an Anavar and growth cycle. I think I did like 10 milligrams Anavar on training days and like 1 or 2 IUs of growth, something really cute and little.
How old were you?
25.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So what you
way more mature than 23.
Yeah.
Way past
Yeah,
that.
you kicked my ass.
Significantly.
Okay, you fucking had it together.
Significantly more mature, yes.
That's awesome. That's good. Okay. All right. That's good. I mean, still, that's a good little first cycle, you know, it's
Yeah.
not bad. How do you feel on it? Your first time?
Oh, I
Walking
loved
the gym.
it.
What was
I
the first
felt-
workout
I
like?
Fucking went and did barbell squat right away. I hadn't hit 225 ever before, and I was able to squat. I was like, fuck yeah.
This was like right off the rip.
Yeah,
Immediate
that's, well,
strength.
that's
Isn't
it.
that crazy how those
That's,
work?
I'm never going back to not this.
Have you ever taken any pro hormones?
Any what?
Pro hormones?
Pro hormones.
No.
How old are you?
34.
Okay, so you were in that age, right? So pro hormones really took over the scene before everyone really as social media was just getting involved, Instagram coming out, pro hormones, everyone fucking vitamin shop around town had pro hormones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like little that was like pretty much pill form of like testosterone. Tren,
I
all
remember
this
that
shit.
now.
Dude, that was my first cycle actually. It was called
Really?
Athletics. I've talked about this before. Bro, the first workout that I had, I felt like I was an absolute god. Like I actually thought I was God. Like not really, but you know, I walk in the gym and I'm like, I'm 10,000 times bigger. But that shit hit so hard.
That was when I did MPP the first time. That's how I felt. I felt like a
Yeah.
13-year-old boy. I was like, yeah. No wonder they're like that.
Yeah. Do you still feel like that now when you take stuff?
Yes and no. I think kind of the novelty is worn off a little bit. Like I know what to expect, but it's still better than not taking something.
Yeah. You think it was a lot of mind though? Like that first couple workouts, those first few days of being on shit, it was more like your mind. Like
Placebo effect, 100%.
Placebo, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
100%.
so much better, even though.
I mean, I think that like 95% of bodybuilding is like placebo, Stockholm, some shit you got in your head going on, convincing you that something's happening that isn't. But that's what keeps you doing it too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know why, man, but that pro homo cycle, that was the most size I've ever gained. And I don't think people understand that, man. It's dangerous. I mean, my buddy literally ended up in the hospital. I'm not lying. After 3 weeks taking the shit, because it was test, Tren, and EQ in one pill. It was amazing. It was insane. I mean, I gained 30 pounds of muscle in like not even 30 days.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Were there side effects to
Pro
it?
hormones were nasty.
oh, yeah.
You-
Liver
severe
failure.
liver fucking damage.
Well,
Liver failure.
well.
So it's funny.
You said
So
30 pounds though?
30 pounds, bro. I'm not lying. And fucking that was. So it was a big thing in wrestling in in high school. My buddy Tren, dude, one pro homo cycle, 30 days. He went from like, I'm not lying, like 200-pound bench to like 350 in 30 fucking days. Like that's how powerful this shit was back in the day. I don't know what the hell they put in it.
Yeah, it was fucking nasty.
But now, obviously, they're like not a thing. Like they realized how toxic they were because like they came out, big trend, no more. Because it was like that people are in the hospital. It was like done.
I'm surprised people aren't still using it though somehow.
You're gonna fucking die. You can't do it. I'm not lying. The cycle was only 30 days.
I mean,
you couldn't do
people
more than 30
still
days.
take DMP.
I don't know. This is the most powerful shit I've ever. My kidneys hurt. Like my liver and my kidneys hurt after like 2 weeks, but I just pushed through it. And I did one cycle, and then that was it. I went to the test after that, and the test was not even near this was.
No,
This
it
was
wouldn't
like,
be.
what the fuck is this? And then it was like shit. And then I'm like, all right. So I started off on a real high
Yeah,
note.
you did. You did.
I was like, what the fuck? But I remember curling like 45s on the bar, and I'm just going. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now? And I kept going for, I'm not lying, maybe 30, 40 reps. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Good
That's
times,
how it
man.
was.
Good times.
Powerful.
Yeah. So don't take pro hormones, guys. That's a little tip for you.
No, you can't find them anymore. Good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe
you, though?
maybe
I'm
in other
sure.
countries.
I'm sure you can. Find
You probably find them in
I
other
haven't seen
countries.
any though.
I bet you can find them.
You know who like Blackstone Labs, right?
Yeah,
Blackstone Labs used to be a
Labs used to have-
huge fucking pro hormone.
Yeah, I
section.
remember that.
They were massive like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, a long fucking time, 15 years ago. But that's when I was like 16, 17. Like I was in high school, everyone was taking pro hormones. It was nuts. It
How
was
old are
nuts.
you?
32.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little younger.
Golly.
I know I look 40. Okay, who looks older, me or him?
Well, man, can I just say the same?
No, you gotta pick one. Who looks older?
You.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Guess how old this guy is. I'm 32.
31.
Bro, this guy's 40.
40.
Really?
You should see his fucking
That's
skin.
'cause he's
It's like
Hawaiian,
the best skin I've ever seen in my
White
life.
people don't last too long.
I know us white people, man. We be aging, bro.
No, yeah,
cracking.
we don't have a long expectancy.
No, I know we get the wrinkles and stuff, man. It's okay though. I actually don't mind looking older. It's definitely a compliment. I'm fine. I'm
You
good
look
with
more
it.
mature, dude.
I'm
There
good
you
with
go.
it. But yeah, no. You're the best. I really, truly appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
I think that's about time. It's been like about an hour and something, but Good luck in the
Thank
next
you.
15 weeks. I am so fucking rooting for you, and please do me a favor. Just out-condition everyone. Like, make that your fucking thing.
Yeah, I'll just stop
if you-
eating if I need
No,
to.
no, no, no.
Don't do that. We need to stay full, bro. We need to stay full.
We need to
But
keep that
please,
muscle. None of that prior shit,
out-condition
okay?
the shit out of these motherfuckers. And is there anything that you would like to leave the audience with?
I don't think so. I think
No?
we're
You all good?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Covered a lot.
Yeah, we did.
did.
That was
We did,
good.
absolutely.
But thank you so much. Dustin,
you.
tell them what they got to do, bro.
You got to hit that subscribe button, like, give us that thumbs up, hit a comment for us, we'll always get back to you, but hit that bell notification so you know when we're posting more of these videos. Thank you so much for watching and tuning into another episode of the Warrior Talk podcast. Much love, many blessings, and let's go.
Let's go.